The moment this album was released, it wasn't supposed to be released. It was a fake album made as a disguise for his real album called Blonde. Hear me out. Frank Ocean was an unknown artist who met a guy named Tricky. And Tricky just so happens to be the producer that made Rihanna's Umbrella, Beyonce's single Ladies, and Justin Bieber's Baby. And he knew Frank had talent, but no one else did, so he had Frank help him produce songs for other people. It's usually harder for unknown artists to get the recognition they deserve for their songs, so instead they end up giving their songs away to larger artists. And they do this because bills still gotta get paid, but Frank was making bangers, writing for John Legend, Justin Bieber, Brandy, so Tricky thought someone needs to sign this guy. He begged and pleaded for Def Jam Records to sign Frank, and they did, but they didn't see the value in him like Tricky did, so they shelved him. That means he was signed, but was at the bottom of the list for the label to care about. They didn't pay for his radio time, marketing, music videos, nothing. And Tricky says to this day it was a mistake on his part for putting Frank in such a bad situation. That's when he met a guy named Tyler who heard his music and wanted Frank to join his group called Odd Future, where he told him, bro, if your label doesn't want to help you release music, just drop a mixtape. Frank didn't know that. A mixtape is free music released by an artist, so it doesn't need to be approved by the label because it's free. So Frank said, why not? He dropped this mixtape slash album and it went triple platinum. It had a song on there called Novocaine and everyone loves it. Jay-Z calling his phone, Kanye calling his phone. His label hears the song and realizes, hey, we own him on our label, so they finally take him seriously. And they try to get the songs commercialized so they can make some money out of them. But they realized it was the most unmarketable album ever. All these songs had samples and parts stolen from other songs, so they couldn't get the copyrights to make money from it. They ran over to Frank and said, Frank, we can't get the copyrights to make money off of you. We need you to make more songs. Frank said, give me $1 million. They said, sure, because in their head, they're about to make way more. And that's what he did. He made another album in only 3 weeks, and again, it went triple platinum. He had a song on there about a potato flying around his room, and everyone loved it. They started giving him Grammys, and everyone's asking him to be on their songs. But he was taking years to release another album, but there was a reason for that. His deal with the label was for 7 years, and it included 2 albums, which he already did 1. And Frank's just thinking about all the things the label did to him and how they didn't care about him. He was angry. And Frank was already going through a lot at this time. He left the studio one day and ran into Chris Brown and got jumped. But Frank didn't lose that fight, and he wasn't about to lose this one to the label. He told his label, I'm dropping the album tonight, and they jumping for joy. We about to make so much money. He drops the album and it goes triple cardboard because it's not a real album. It's just a video of him building staircases. This is called a visual album. Everyone in the label thought he was joking. He spent 6 days building a staircase and made a video out of it. But turns out this was completely legal because it has songs on it, but it was just low quality demos at the end. He called it art. The